Hello everybody, welcome back to Sprouts Tarot. So today we are going to do a reading about the spooks. Now let me tell you the quick version of what happened to me a few years ago. So a few years ago I was feeling rather lost in my life and I didn't really know what the future held. I was really confused and I had been that way for about maybe more than a year. So my subconscious had already gathered or collected a lot of negativity, stress, low vibes. And one night I remember I was sleeping, and I usually do wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, but on this particular night I felt I had awoken, and then in my lucid state, I went to the bathroom, returned, and then I fell asleep again. But then at the foot of my bed I felt there was weight on my feet. So that jolted me wide awake. And then I saw somebody sitting on the edge, like the foot of my bed, with her legs overhanging. And then she turned around to face me. She had a face but no eyes. And it was at that point that I jolted myself really awake. So that was a lucid dream. And in hindsight, I knew that was because I couldn't see my own future. So this apparition or this vision that appeared was just a reflection of my unconscious or subconscious representing the fact that I couldn't see my future and had no vision. But I'll tell you realistically, at that time I slept with my nightlight on for the next week. Even though in hindsight I knew what that was all about, but at that time I was bona fide scared. Like, I probably would have shat myself if I if I wasn't more in control of my body. But I decided to dedicate today's reading to that strange phenomenon in our lives that we can't really explain. So this could be a very recent event or something in the past. And so these are the cards that came out. I'm going to do this choice card picking with the lights bright on, but when I do the reading later, I'm just going to have like a corner lamp so we can build some sort of atmosphere thing going, and I think it'd make the reading a lot better. So please go ahead and choose the card that speaks to you the most, and I'll see you in a little while. Welcome back, Group 1. So if you pick the Skeptic of Ghosts, this is going to be your spooky phenomenon reading. But before we move on to that, can I just geek out for a little second? And I know not many people in my life actually appreciate this, but hopefully if you clicked on this video, maybe you're a card lover too. And my Cosma Visions deck has the best box. And I just want to show people this. Okay, sorry, I'm not I'm not getting paid. This is not a promotion. I just want to show people this box. Okay, so first of all, it's a darling green color and I like this, but the way that it opens, and this is small, this isn't one of those huge boxes, and inside you've just got all this like silver highlighted area. So I just wanted to show people this because I just like this box so much. Okay, back to the reading. Sorry. I'm so glad I got that off my chest, and I'll be doing that to Group 2 and Group 3 as well. Okay, so this is so cool. Now, this is the card that you got. Okay, Skeptic of Ghosts. Now, this is a guy who is... Oh, sorry, I just knocked. Are we still okay? This is a guy who's rationale par excellence, okay? So he's a very no-frills type of guy. He knows what he believes in to be real and what he firmly doesn't believe in. And supernatural phenomenon like ghosts, maybe anything spiritual, he's just not into it. He just can't conceive of that world having any substance, pun intended. So I want to read this deck's description of this particular card because it's just wicked. Okay, this is very sixth sense type of thing, okay? So, where were we? Okay, So convinced is he of his convictions that he hasn't noticed that his friends have all died and left him alone. He even jokes to himself that perhaps it is he who has died and become a ghost. Preposterous! He must be alive. After all, he's still walking about and having conscious thoughts. Everyone seems to be deaf and blind lately. He's resorted to throwing books and slamming doors at night to get attention. Isn't that delightful? Okay, so this particular phenomenon, if this has happened to you, I'm going to explain the reason why. This is messages appearing. So maybe words or written messages appearing in places that kind of freak you out a little bit. Okay, so yeah, or maybe hearing things, hearing sentences being said, but mainly in written form. Okay, so if you've experienced some of that recently, this choice is the correct one for you. Now, I've also used the Samhain Witch's Oracle deck just to add flavor to this particular card, and I got 42 voices, okay? So this particular card talks about messages that are for us, and they can come in any form. So, you know how sometimes you go walking through, you know, the woods and you're not really thinking anything. You just want to clear your head a little. But then you hear like a whisper, like by the wind, and it sounds as though it's telling you something, but it's actually the like frequency of the maybe speed of the wind, and it creates a certain kind of like vibration, but you hear it as a message. So that's what this is talking about. Now, so together, I'm guessing recently in your life, there is communication between you and either your higher self or something else that you can't really put your finger on. Okay, so that's what I get just from these two cards. Now we're going to use the Cosma Visions tarot deck, because this deck is specifically designed for the transitional phase in life. This deck actually is specifically on the death process. At least that's the intention of the creator. So the whole deck is based on that in-between realm. Okay, so we're going to use that to get some sort of understanding on why maybe you have recently seen messages or heard something and it's kind of maybe freaking you out a little. Okay, there we go. Our first card appears. And also basically to relieve you if you feel scared. So just to provide relief by telling you why this is happening, maybe. Okay. Oh, this is nice. Oh, okay. And like I said, I've got the ambient lighting going on, so we can have a more intimate feel to today's reading. Bottom of the deck is the Two of Trees. Okay, let's keep this simple. So, why have you seen messages appear? Okay, seen or heard. So, what it looks like, okay, this is you now. This is what has happened in the past before. You have reached a stage where you needed time to reconnect to yourself. This is an observation deck and basically looking at the stars, and it's kind of enclosed like in this dome-like structure, circular, and then surrounded by sycamore trees. Now, sycamore trees symbolically, spiritually, are known to be grounding, to be stable. So this is holding you in place, but you're needing time or silent time, downtime, in order for you to figure things out. And if you look up at the sky, especially with certain constellations, this is how people traditionally worked out stories. And that's where our myths come from. And eventually they become Hollywood blockbusters. But the realm of archetype of myth comes through silent observation. So I think you have just been engaged in this phase recently, and now you're here where you're receiving the message. So this quiet downtime is when you are connecting with that inner self. So at that time you're consciously connecting, and messages don't appear usually during this phase of the spiritual kind of transition or new path that begins to appear. Doesn't appear here because you're still very conscious. You're just observing. But right now you are here. So if you take a look at this, this is the peacock, right? Now the peacock here is surprisingly bland with this colorful tail at the end. So this is akin to kind of Anubis, that psychopomp that guards between this realm and the other side. And this is what the peacock is doing in this particular time frame in your life. So you're here waiting to go over the other side. And this is why messages are beginning to appear. Voices are being heard, or signs are being given to you, because it is enticing you to go through. Okay, so your intuition in the next phase that's coming up is going to become very strong. Now, the swan here is just gently paddling around so the full reflection can be seen. And this is kind of like the alter ego that's going to live the life before the swan does. So this is the part where you plan out the next phase in your life through the visions that you see in your mind. So you're kind of mapping things out. This is the High Priestess card. So you're basically working intuitively and quietly within your own mind's realm after you go through to the other side though. Okay, so what is this other side? This other side can mean from adolescent to adulthood, from middle age to senior age, from young adulthood to maybe mature adulthood. Okay, so any of those phases are pertinent to this other side. Another meaning is stages in life which are only relevant to you. So maybe you're thinking of like leaving your country and migrating to another place to live for a few years or even forever. Maybe this transition is about being a bachelor, bachelorette, and then becoming married. So it can be one of those life phases as well. I mean, on the extreme side, it can mean initiation into something spiritual, like a coven or something like that. It can also mean those things, but that's what this realm is for. And even with things like getting married or entering adulthood, it's not so much the mechanics of this graduation process, it's the emotional and spiritual acceptance of moving on from the previous phase. Now, what was under the deck is this Two of Trees card. So you can see this is pretty much like a barren landscape, even though you've got these gorgeous rock formations. So this is in line with the kind of like Stonehenge type of formations where there's always going to be like theories on were they created by us or aliens, that type of thing. But as you can see, the grand like structures that are put kind of precariously and with great care. Okay, so you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that there's terrific balance. It takes like agility to actually stay in this particular formation, simply to make it. I mean, the person who needs to do that. But more importantly, can you see these two little sprouts that are growing here? So this particular card tells you to be a little bit careful with the process that you are going through right now. These two little sprouts in such a dry area has the possibility of becoming super resilient to conditions of drought, and maybe they can survive anyway, which means you're super strong, or they can wither after having broken through. So these messages that you're receiving to enter this other side, you have to be careful to nurture them correctly, or you might lose this particular connection or this particular opportunity, because it takes a lot of care to grow these two little plants under these kind of super dry conditions. And it looks as though even the cloud looks a little bit on the hot side. And so right now these the sun is being hidden by this golden type cloud formation, but you've got this lone person here walking along. So maybe there's another person who will tend to you and help you out during this stage. But just to summarize, this phenomenon is seeing messages or hearing messages. And the reason why this is happening is because it's a life transition for you. Okay, so more intuition is coming in the immediate future for you, so you can navigate things better, even if conditions become a little difficult. Okay, so that's all I have for you today regarding this card, and I hope you liked my spooky reading, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye-bye. Welcome back, Group 2. So if you pick this card, the Seven of Portals, then this spooky phenomena is going to be relevant to you. Okay, but before we start, I already told Group 1 about my Cosma Visions box, and I just want to show you too. And I also show Group 3, because this is one of my favorite tarot card boxes. So this is not paid, there's no promotional thing going on. I just want to show you this box, okay? Because it's just gorgeous. Wow. That's all for my show and tell. Okay, let's get back to the reading. Okay, so this Seven of Portals, this star that you see is a heptagram. So it's a 7-pointed star under the sign of Scorpio. This is basically akin to Seven of Cups. It is the card of possibility and dreams. So the symbols or signs that you may have experienced, the strange phenomena, can include will-o'-the-wisps, ghost lights. It can include doinishis, which are the good people, or apparently we're not supposed to say it, but since I'm not Irish, the fairies. Any of those sort of message, not message, but phenomena to do with light, to do with movement. So if you've seen any of those things of late, like especially very vivid psychedelic dreams as well, then this is going to be a possible explanation of why you have seen that. Now, to accompany this Seven of Portals, I also use the Samhain Seasons of the Witch Oracle deck, and the card that came out today was the Healer card. So that's number 22. Listen as the medicine bleeds through her teeth, a river of mercy blessed by mother, seen only by those who hold her mirror. This is the card of the healer. So if you are thinking about undertaking a job or even just a period of engagement where you're assisting somebody, then this is definitely the reading that you should listen to. Now, this includes what I'm doing now, reading tarot, channeling, mediumship, becoming like a birth doula, a death doula. Any of those things are okay. It's just helping people transition and making their emotional kind of plate lighter, if you will. So this card, if you're thinking about that, this is like a definite yes card that you should pursue this either as a career or as a temporary thing that you feel that you want to engage in. Okay, so this maybe you'll see signs of the symbols that I said before, you know, dreams, donishis and will-o'-the-wisps. Okay, so like I said, this is the Cosma Visions deck, and this is specifically for transition. This deck was designed for the actual physical human death process and the intermediary process between that and the next incarnation, if you do believe in reincarnation concepts. Okay, but we're going to see what is this story about. Okay, so please give me past, present of this particular energy. Why is group 2 seeing these either lights or other strange phenomena? Okay. Oh, whoa. All 3 came out. Whoa. 3 cards at one time. This is strong. What's going on here? Yeah, that's 3 cards in one simultaneous hit. What's at the bottom of the deck? 10 of Lotus is beautiful. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, there we go. Look, orbs. And what we were talking about. Will-o'-the-wisps. Ooh, okay. Wow. Okay, so this is, in a traditional tarot deck, the Queen of Cups. So this is, oh, look. Okay, so your compassion and your loving grace and kindness has already emerged. Because if you take a look at this lotus formation, as we all know, lotus grows from its mud source into this beautiful blossom. And nobody can detect that it comes from this particular rooting system. And that's what is the symbol of the lotus, from basically rags to riches, from something which is seen to be clunky and dirty into something very beautiful. So your heart has definitely bloomed. So there's love and light in your life now. And maybe it was a struggle to get there, but now you're here. You are seen now. And I think because it's taken, like, it wasn't an easy road, it was like an arduous path to take, you have accumulated a lot of knowledge and a lot of practical, workable advice that you can now share with others. So I don't know what aspect of healing it is that you're interested in, but whatever it is, you've already reached the point where you can start giving. Oh, and there we go, 6 of Trees. Okay, all right, yep. Right now, the phenomena that you are seeing, the donishi, the will-o'-wisp, the dreams, the vividness of these messages, it is telling you to pursue this. because what you have here can be amplified to help others. So this message is confirmation of that healing that you want to give out should be undertaken. Because look, this is the 6 of trees, and if you take a look at this gorgeous, gorgeous farm, so you've already made this, look, take a look at the bridge here. You've already crossed over from the growth stage in which the toiling was very, very difficult. Okay, so blood, sweat and tears here, but you've crossed over to this part where the tree is already bearing fruit. So this is akin to the 6 of Pentacles. So now is the time to give, should you feel you want to. And oh, I mean, can we get more perfect than this? 10 of Lotuses. Take a look at this, okay? So here, this is you right now deciding on whether you should do this or not. But take a look at all the people that you'll eventually be able to help when you do. This is wicked synchronicity. This is a lily pad. This is you starting this. But then take a look. Take a look at everything else that blossoms from your initial desire to help. And look, this looks like the rise of a new day. So it's just gorgeous. This is a very optimistic kind of energy here. Yeah, it seems as though this is I don't even know what to say. You have kind of maybe saintly energy, or yeah, you're possibly a very enlightened being of some sort, or you've reached that point simply because you've had to struggle so much. So you've accumulated a lot of wisdom in your years to be able to give back. Oh, wow. I'm genuinely impressed, and I'm genuinely curious now. Who are you? In the sense of what kind of healing do you do? And should I ask for some of that for myself? Wow. Okay, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. So if this is you, the world needs more people like you. So, you know, you go get them, tiger. Okay, well, thank you very much for letting me read for you today. And I hope everything works out well. And I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you. Bye. Welcome back, Group 3. So if you picked this card, the Wendigo, this is the spooky phenomenon that you probably have been experiencing lately. But before we move on to that, I already did this for groups 1 and 2, so I want to do it for you too, so you don't feel shortchanged. Okay, this Cosma Vision tarot deck, which we're going to use today, has my favorite box, and I just wanted to share this with you guys. Okay, so this is not sponsored. This is not, I'm not getting any payment for this. I just want to show you because it's genuinely pretty. Okay, so this is the outside of it, and then inside, voila, isn't this gorgeous? Yeah, I was just so happy with this box that I just wanted to share my joy with everybody. Okay, so welcome back. So like I said, we're just going to have a dim little corner light, so this feels more kind of spooky and intimate. Okay, so this card, the Wendigo, maybe people are already familiar with this particular creature. So it belongs to, I think, a Native American tribe's like mythology, and this is a creature that appears, it's cannibalistic ostensibly in this myth, and it's either in an actual physical form or it is in a spiritual form, and it possesses somebody to do things they usually wouldn't. However, the spiritual or the phenomenon which this particular card encompasses would be if recently in your life you've had a string of bad luck. and you're saying to yourself, why is this happening again? Like, this is the third time this has happened, blah, blah, blah. Or if you see relatives who have already departed in your dreams, especially if these things are kind of together, like having a string of bad luck and then seeing visions of people who are already deceased, then this is the explanation of why, possibly. Okay, so the card that I got from the Samhain Witch Oracle is, I have to put a little tape over simply because you can see nipples here, and I think that violates YouTube rules. So that's why I've got a little a tab covering this. It is the card of seduction. So it's number 35, and it says, hear the roaring flames with the masterful trance that calls upon heaving chest. Give in to its alluring grip, if you please, but heed my warning of the claws that draw blood without mercy. So this is the card of temptation. It is seduction because there's temptation, okay? It's seductive because there's temptation, and it warns about doing things which are maybe pleasurable for a few moments, but then like there's a trail of anguish which follows it. So whatever opportunity that is given to you right now, approach it with caution. If it is to take the easy way out, maybe eventually you'll end up doing things in the most difficult way instead of a shortcut. But how this relates to this Wendigo, I have no idea. So for that, we're going to look at this story through tarot. Okay. So what we're going to do now is to see what is the situation. Because it's like an odd pairing. Like, I really don't have much of an idea of what this means. Like, on the one hand here, right, it says seduction. But then you've got almost like a Grim Reaper formation here. And I absolutely don't have any idea. The shore. Oh. What's at the bottom of the deck? Oh, good. Can we see? Okay. Okay, I don't know how to piece this together. Okay, but this makes sense. Okay, so this card, the shore, is this particular feeling. It's akin to the Tower card in a conventional tarot deck. Just imagine you've woken up from this sudden crash or this sudden event in which part of your consciousness seems to be missing, or there's like a time gap between your last thought and this one. So you've just landed on the shore and you don't know where you are now, and the waters are turbulent, and then you've got like these asteroid type bits coming at you from the sky, it looks like, or some sort of fire formation, and you feel as though you're completely lost now and you don't even know how you got there. So that's the feeling. Like, it seems as though suddenly your world has split apart and you're trying to find other survivors, and yeah, like it's turbulent at the highest point. You're genuinely lost here, and you don't know what to do because you don't know where this is, what direction this is, or where to go. All you can do now is minute by minute try to reorient yourself and find a way to find survival or sustenance. Basically, this is shock and awe feeling. What's happening now? It seems, okay, on purely an instinctual front, it looks like there's a calamity of a natural disaster type of thing, okay? So you can see that the houses are being flooded away. And even these little lotus flowers that ostensibly are looking still good, all the roots are being ripped out by this flood. And you can see that it looks like a hurricane formation type of thing blowing up top with this mass flooding down at the bottom. So you're definitely being uprooted. Like, if this is not a physical reality, this is definitely symbolic of an emotional turbulence that's rocked you to the core. These two cards I understand here, but I don't understand why this seduction is linked here, unless it is due to the temptation that has caused this turbulence or this feeling of being uprooted. So this is a very dramatic event if you look at it like exactly as it is. But of course, there are circumstances in which we can find this. For example, you move to a different country because of a love interest, and then you find yourself completely at a loss. So maybe you don't know the culture, you can't get your bearings correct, and right now there's nobody around you, it feels like, that can lend a hand and help you. And you don't feel grounded anymore. Everything's been uprooted. Yeah, that's what it seems. Okay. But what is in the immediate future? You've got friends coming though. So over here, you're feeling rather lost and stranded. But over here, can you see this? Is this visible with my dim lighting, the mood lighting? So you've got 3 rollers coming here. And of course, the scenery has completely changed. The lotuses that appear to be swept away have remained intact. And also, you've reached some sort of new destination. Like, you're initially landing on the shore feeling disoriented. Now there's like firm structure. There are people around you. And it seems as though now there's stairs for you to enter this particular zone. So if what you felt initially was a string of mishaps, just around the corner is safety. And there's going to be people who are coming into your life to help you settle in. Settle down. I hope you're not in any physical danger, because this looks like a natural disaster card where everything's uprooted. But at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Mender. The Mender is the Queen of Cups, basically. So the experience is twofold for you. First, it gives rise to compassion in yourself. Because of this experience, it's going to make you more empathetic to others in the future who can go through this. It's going to allow you to have more sagacity. So you're going to be more sagacious because of this experience. You've got wisdom that's accruing. And also, in your new world, once you reach this point, things are going to be kinder and nicer, because the Queen of Cups is here to rescue the previous hurts and pains that was experienced earlier in the journey. Okay, so if recently the sign is a string of bad hits and also dreaming of people who are deceased, especially relatives, maybe even giving you warnings or messages, then it looks like currently you are experiencing a calamity of some sort, either physical or emotional, that you have to navigate. But just around the corner, it's a brand new world with people who are willing to become your soul family or soul group. And I think just be wary if you did uproot and change your life because of this deal that seemed too good to be true. Maybe this is the warning if you haven't actually taken the final step. But if you have, maybe it's to realize that sometimes you have to be more cautious in life, and that things which seem too good to be true are probably too good to be true. Okay, so that's what I have for you today, and I hope things work out well for you, sincerely, because this one is not such a happy reading. But let me give you some sort of blessing. I don't know if this is okay to do. I don't know what your particular beliefs are, but I do have a Kuan Yin Oracle deck, and Kuan Yin is the mother of compassion and mercy. So wait, let me get a Kuan Yin card and ground this reading for you. Because out of the 3 readings, this one seems to be the one that makes me worried. Okay, so dear Kuan Yin, Mother of Compassion and Mercy, please give Group 3 some blessings. Please bless Group 3 that this turbulence or this transition will be safely and receive smoother passage until the 3 of Lotuses come. Okay. Okay, we've got 3 cards here. 3 of Lotuses. Oh, 3 cards. Okay, so the first one is Goddess of Spring. Healing and transformation brings you blessings now. You are asked to remember that light can come from even the darkest beginnings, that spring only ever comes after winter. The challenge can be to trust that winter will end. Exploring the unknown parts of yourself will result in self-discovery and a healing rebirth for you. Okay, so please take this blessing. The second blessing is divine connection. The inspired, intuitive messages you have been receiving, which are unconditionally loving, fearless and encouraging of you to grow and be your true self, are from your higher guidance. Beings of divine light are guiding you with messages of unconditional love. It is safe to trust in your growing divine connection and inner knowing. Doing so will bring you great joy. Okay, so please accept this blessing. Okay, and number 3, immortal treasures. Within you are precious immortal treasures, gifts of your soul, which include the ability that you have to transmit healing. Honor yourself as a healer, whether formally or informally. Whether formally or informally, your soul brings a special healing light to humanity. You have divine support in your role as a healer in whatever way, usual or highly unusual, that this is unfolding for you now. Okay, so please take these 3 blessings to ground this reading. Okay, thank you very much for allowing me to read for you today, and all the best. Hope to see you again next time. Bye.